Hey traders, man, look at the market go today. Yesterday's video, I said caution is needed right now because it is not over yet. And oh my goodness, the futures markets are absolutely down 5%, 4%, you name it. And then also the interest rates as well too. And also I actually mentioned yesterday a Forex pair that I was watching to get into for a trade. And I'm going to share all that with you because I believe, guys, this is the beginning of the end, not the end of the beginning. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, do you guys realize it's actually, when I'm doing this recording for you, right now it's dead on 6:30 in the morning. I was actually talking to my ex-girlfriend a few days ago, and when I used to live with her and I are really good friends, and I was with her, I said, she just goes, "Well, man, you're like a kid, right? When you get up, you're on, right?" I'm just so excited about these markets. Anyway, because I'm in Australia, right? So literally 6 o'clock in the morning is when the US market closes. So it's a beautiful, beautiful time, right? Just get your trading done. And this is what I love about my trading is that I get my trading done first thing in the morning, and then I'm off through the day to do the other stuff that I want to do, right? Like my business and my coaching. And oh, by the way, guys, talk about my business. First link in the description, click on that. If you actually need some help, you're struggling with trading right now, go get access to that free trading course. I guarantee you're gonna absolutely love it. Because I'm gonna share with you the biggest mistakes you're making, chart reading strategies, my #1 trading system, and all that sort of down home country goodness. So click on the link in the description, guys. Go get free access to that. And if you do need some help, just ask me and I'll talk to you about my coaching program if you do need some help from there. But at least go get the free help you need, okay? So let's have a look at this here. So looking at the actual markets here, let me show you this here. So this is the video that I did actually yesterday. This is yesterday's market update. I said caution is needed as it's not over yet. What was I referring to? I was referring to this guy, right? So this is the E-mini or this is the ES S&P 500. And I said there's a few things that's going on here right now that says that we're not over yet. So we cannot be, man, who's calling me? Oh, who's calling me at 6:30 in the morning? Anyway, one take for you guys. So we have a high, a lower high, and then a lower high. What day is it? It's Thursday. Okay, cool. I know who it is. You can wait, darling, okay? So high, lower high, and then another lower high, right? And we have that continuation on the downside. But look what's happening here, okay? Here's a big thing. High, lower high, and I said this rally up. I said this is probably, this could be short-lived because we have one, and then also we have another trend line coming down that could reject it. So it's not over yet. We need to get back above here. We need to get back above here to start to see that. And look what happened. We actually just completely got crushed. Completely got crushed. I have always, guys, and this is where some of you guys who watch my videos, there's 2 mind frames. My big picture, by the end of this year, I see this stock market making all-time new highs. Anything, that's over 6 months away, by the way, guys. That's by December this year, right? Anything can happen. But my short-term TA has always been, hey, look what the market's telling us right now. And that's a big lesson for us traders, right? A big lesson for us traders is what? What is the market doing now? And we trade based off that. This is where a lot of traders can get wrong because they trade based off all this other stuff, right? So we could see that through there. Look at the Nasdaq as well too. The Nasdaq didn't even come back up. I was actually thinking we actually come back up to the resistance line and then get rejected, but we didn't. We actually just got rejected through here. So I wouldn't actually be too surprised to actually see probably a bit of a sideways. Actually, let's just do this here. So let me bring on my short-term moving average because that's going to give me a bit of a gauge. Yeah. Okay, so that's that one there. Broke up and then down. Yeah. So it's looking, we may even get a bit of sideways movement here. If we don't, we could get a bit, just a bit of sideways, like a bit of sideways movement through here going on. I don't know. So I definitely wouldn't want to be long right now on a short-term basis. Investing purposes, guys, what I mean by investing is that you're buying here, and even if it does do that, you're really confident that 12 months from now, you're going to see something like that. And by the way, guys, let's actually just put this in perspective. The market is going to go back up, right? It's not like, stop thinking about now. Where's it going to be in 5 years from now, right? And 10 years from now, 20 years from now, new technologies. If you look over time as well too, right? Think about this as a perspective of looking your investments, of looking at the markets. Do you realize over time, literally it was only like 20, maybe 30 years ago that $1 billion company was a big deal. $1 billion company. Now people are worth hundreds of billions of dollars inside $1 trillion companies. Where are we going to be in 10 years time frame, 20 years time frame, right? We're going to be literally multiple trillions. This company's worth $10 trillion. It's like, that's where we're going, because that's the evolution of things. So the stock market is always going to continue going up, right? Because the value of things just keep going up. Now we're going to have times, we're going to have periods, we may even have 3 or 4 years of downward movement. But if you look at the overall picture, if you're just buying, so say for example, your job is just to buy a little bit of the S&P 500, every single month. Every time you get a pay, you got to buy. It's probably you're probably going to do really, really, really well. Again, long term, your job is to hold it for 20 years, 30 years, right? People thinking, John, I'm going to be dead in 30 years. Well, you need to really start to learn the art of trading, which is a higher level skill. Okay. So, and looking at the Russell as well too. Look at the Russell here. Absolutely, there was 2 trend lines that I was watching and looking at. Right, we have a high, lower high, and then we have another lower high through here. See that through there? And this is where something I was saying in yesterday's video as well too, that we needed to check this out, right? We needed to look at this here, resistance, and especially the Russell. Look where we were. We ran straight to that level, and I'm just like, oh man, this could be a little fake out here. And then look what happened today. We got a bit of just an absolute volatile move on the downside. Big move on the downside. So that's what we're seeing through there, guys. And also when we have a look at the fear and greed index, look at this fear and greed index. So this fear and greed index that we can see here, look where it's pegging right now. We're pegging at 9. So we are getting, at the start of this video, I said we're at the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end. And what I mean by that is that we're getting very, 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 very close to a good bottom. Now, when I say very close, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be forming a very strong bottom. We need a bit of a capitulation. Now, maybe today was the capitulation. Where are we here? Maybe this fear and greed index, as you can see, we're pegging down through there. And look where we are right now. We've got down to where? 6 before? 8. Was that? Yeah, 7 we got down to. Now we're back down to, say, 10, 9. And so I believe that for the bottom to be formed, we need a bit of a capitulation day. And maybe today is that day. Maybe the day, because then we get the capitulation. If we go actually have a look at the volume, it'd be really interesting to see the volume in a lot of these. Let's have a look at this here. Not the big. Let's actually look at the let's have a look at just the actual the cash market. There's not big volume there. There's actually no volume on that one there, is there? No. I'm just trying to see the volume for the day. Yeah, it's not a massive spike in volume. So yeah, but we are getting on the fear and greed in this perspective, guys. We are definitely getting towards that major. We are getting towards the end of the beginning of the end. All right. So don't be too surprised if over say going into June and July, we start to make a really nice move back to the upside. But that's the big picture right now, guys. On the short-term TA level, where are we here? That's what's going on right now. And again, I wouldn't want to be going long this market here. Before I get into that Forex pair that I talked about yesterday, let's actually look at gold and silver. And gold is actually just a bit of a nothing day in gold, but we're still continuing on this downward sloping momentum down through. You can see we're just on this downward sort of trend down through here. So gold is not strong, not weak. It's just doing nothing, absolutely nothing. And it's still stuck in this overall sideways movement through here overall. If we have a look at this weekly chart, you can see we're just still stuck in this overall, this big, massive, big double top. Can you imagine, guys? Like, and this is the big thing you need to keep an eye out for, right? Can you imagine if we start to do something like this, and then we break this resistance level? You know what's going to happen to gold, right? I don't care what you think about gold. as a technician, if that happens, if something like this happens over the course of, say, I don't know, say maybe the next year, maybe the next couple of years, that actually happens. Once we start to break this level here, we're going to start to make some really, really, really big moves. Now, I don't know, that actually would start to make that move come back up through there really quickly. So just something to keep an eye for when it comes to the silver and the gold market as well. Looking at and this is the silver market here. This is a big thing for silver, as you can see, is that this major level of resistance is now, this major level of support is now becoming resistance. So now we're actually getting a bit of a rejection through here. And again, this is something that that is not good. So but I believe we're getting towards the end of this selling leg in silver, because we've had such a big selling leg. So if we actually maybe we start to do something like this in silver, and then we start to break up. If so, then we could start to see a move back up with silver back up to around that 24, maybe $24. It doesn't mean it's going to be changing trend, because it could just be down overall, up, and then another down leg through there. So that's going to be really interesting to see whether this resistance that was going to hold, or whether we get back above there when it comes to the silver market. Moving over now, let's have a look at the VIX as well too. And this is something that I believe we need to see to form a big bottom in the markets, is looking at the VIX chart, right? And we can see here that's that major level of resistance, all the levels of resistance through there. And then we can see, what do we see through here? We see that we're not there. So I believe we need to get I believe that we need to get a spike up through here somewhere, like to get people really, 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 really fearful. And as you can see, we're getting, what's that there? Almost 6% on the Nasdaq, almost 5% on the ES, and then almost 4% on the Russell as well too. And almost, what's that on the YM there? Yeah, almost 3%. So even though we did get a pretty big down day in the markets today, I'm not too quite sure that it's actually found capitulation yet, but it is a pretty big down day. So maybe that's what the markets are looking for. So only time will tell. But again, I believe we need a bit more of a freak out to form that bottom in the markets. If we do get something like this in the VIX, then I don't believe we're going to see something like this again. I believe we'll probably get that, and then that's probably going to signal a bottom coming in the markets. But even with the fear and greed index is now signaling we're getting very, very close to a bottom in the market. You could just never pick the exact day, right? You never know when the exact day is. Looking at that through there. So this video, this is the video that I did yesterday. As you can see, I said this one market is overstretched. We could see a big drop fast, awesome trading opportunity, right? And this one here was the USD JPY. And I was looking at the hourly chart, as you can see here, and I was talking about, like, looking at this thing through here. Where are we here? Let's just do this, right? And then I was talking about how we're actually getting, like, we're getting a bit of a double top, we're rallying down, we're getting a pullback through here, and there's a really major probability that I was saying that this pattern here, this pattern right here that we got, I was saying we're probably going to see that through here, where we got the leg down, we got the leg down. Oh, here we go. So we had the leg down, we had the leg down, we had the pullback, we had the pullback, and I was saying that I believe that this is coming here next out of this hourly chart on. Sorry, this is the 4-hour chart, sorry. But I was also looking at the hourly chart for the timing, and then that's what was happening through there. And if we actually go look at what actually happened through there, let's go back to the hourly chart, and let's go to the USD JPY. Look what happened. So when I did the recording, the market was through here, right? So as you can see, that's what the market looked like there. And then now look what's happened to the market. So I was watching for this and waiting for this, and guess what I was doing, right? Waiting for what? I was waiting for the, say it with me, breakout. And when we got the breakout, guess what? And then look what's happened so far. So I actually believe this has actually got a lot more downside to come. This is just been already an amazing trade. I can't actually make a loss in this trade right now. So it's already an amazing and incredible profitable trade for me. But now we're looking at the 4-hour chart, and as you can see, we're starting to really roll over through here. Double top. We've broken this. We've had this week up. We've come back down. There's a real high probability that looking at this here, that we might even go sideways for a bit through here, and then start to see a move down. If I bring on my longer term moving average, you can actually see also, look what's happening here. And this is where you need to listen to the market and not your thoughts. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But look what's happened here. We now formed a what? A double top. Notice every time we had a low and then we had a higher low, break past previous highs. Higher low, broke past previous highs. Higher low, didn't break past previous highs. Had a double top. Oh, that's potentially an end of trend. Now guess what we got? We ran down, we made a lower low. That's now potentially telling us, oh my goodness, oh, we're potentially now that we may be changing the trend, right? Who is that calling me right now? That's crazy. I think it's her. I think it's one of my old girlfriends. That's crazy. Anyway, so we have this lower low, but what is the lower low telling us? It's a change of trend, right? Because we have a higher low, and then we have a higher low. If we start to come down and this is a higher low here, but then we make a lower low, that means the trend has ended on that move, and the lower low is a potential trend change warning. Now what do we need? We need the market to come up, then start to roll over to give us a lower high. And then once we do that, we're probably going to spend a bit of time doing something like that. Does that make sense? So you can see that that's what's actually happening here. This is exactly what happened with Bitcoin as well too. Let me share with you. Let me go to Bitcoin here. Right, and you can see, look at this back here. Right, so it was just really simple back here last year, as you can see, and this is what the exact same thing that happened with Bitcoin. Guess what I was doing with Bitcoin? I've made so much money short on Bitcoin. So higher low, higher low, higher low. Look at this here. High. We made a lower low, and then we made a lower high, came down, and then look what happened. That was what? That was the start of a really nice downward leg out of Bitcoin. Right, so once again, if we go back to this level through here, we can see what's going on. We can see that now we're getting these higher lows, and then now we're getting this point through here. So there's a real high probability on this here. And I was also saying that the big picture, which is this big, we've had a very big move up. We're now forming possibly even like a head and shoulder formation, if you want to call it that. Actually, if we go back to, yeah, you could even call it that if you want to. This is the shoulder, this would be the head, and this would be the shoulder as well too. And then if we go back to the daily charts, we're very overstretched. So the next major level of sort of support would be back here. That's that major level of longer term sort of support and resistance. So looking at that level here, this looks like it has a pretty good chance of making a move, and probably making a move down towards that 125 level, which is that major level through there. Once that happens, then it may pause because we are in a big upward trend, right? And that's all that it may happen. So we are trading. This is very stretched. So we may even get something like that, and then it may continue from there. So that's the big thing that I'm focusing on when it comes to these markets. But the strategies I'm talking about here right now, guys, work on all markets. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's market update. Once again, guys, click on that link in the description. Go get access to that free trading course, because I guarantee you that even if you do nothing with me, even if you buy nothing from me, right? None of my coaching or something like that, that free trading course will set you straight.